neighborhood of Gary, Indiana. AJ, A-Dub, Marco, and Stretch. Keeping it forthright, vulnerable, and INFORMILLY. Shit. Damn it. Fuck up. INFORMILLY, informally honest. That didn't work. Oh, well. Hey, welcome back to another episode of InforMILLy podcast. In case you didn't tell from my fucked up way of singing that song, Water, shout out to, I think her name is Tyler. Very viral song right now. And Adam's lack of response to anything. He's going, hey, that was useless.
He's like, fuck, more editing. God damn it.
Keep it in. I don't care about fucking up. We're informal in this motherfucker. Welcome back.
That sounds like we're back. Here we go.
Welcome back to another episode of InforMILLy Honest Podcast. Thank y'all for joining us for another week of these here informalities. Got Josh right here. We also joined by Adam and Aaron.
That's right.
Fellas, how y'all doing?
Doing swell, especially now that it's the weekend.
Yeah, man. I got to say the same. This work week is a little easier on your boy. Either that or maybe I'm just getting better at what the fuck I do, you know?
Okay. Improvement.
Sure. Not sure. Yeah. And in a new I'm in a new venue, you know.
Can tell by the laundry in that seat back there. But,
don't worry about that. Yeah, as you previously said, we informal in this motherfucker. Appearances as well.
My week has been decent. Yeah, nothing too out of the norm. Work week, getting ready for this show on the 3rd. Not sure when this episode will come out, but if it ain't November 3rd yet, and you in the Chicagoland area, come out to the Auditorium Theater November 3rd, 7:30, DP Rooted Dance Theater, and come see me twirl and shit.
And if you can't make it, fucking donate, support,
donate to the company. Donate to the company. We're in the midst of our capital campaign for this building. I think we're still about $2.5 million short, and so, but so far I think we raised like 16, 17.
Yes.
Damn. So, awesome.
Yeah. Just trying to get the rest of this money here for this building that I'm a hope and pray that they still let me have full access to when I'm not dancing no more. And so yeah.
Hey, well, side note on that, really quick follow-up question about that. Access to it, is that something that like you'd wanna, even when you like older and not dancing, let's say, you know, let's call it retirement, whatever you want to say.
Sure.
You just want to have access to it for recreational purposes whenever you feel like
something like that. Like, you know, being able, I know accessing the studio is gonna be whatever. I'm saying like I don't want to be paying like outside nigga prices when studio wants to be rented or used or something. Certain amenities that the company gonna get, like access to physical therapy and masseuses and the sauna and the green room. I'm gonna be like, hey, I devoted 20 years of my life to make sure this building came to pass. So I'm gonna need access to all them motherfuckers, even when I'm not on contract no more. And so stuff like that.
I feel that, bro. That would be wonderful. Hell yeah. Sending good vibes and good energy. Yeah, man. Let's manifest that for sure. Man, right here on this fucking podcast. It's happening.
Appreciate you. And everybody listening, put your prayers out there too. Keep Josh taken care of in retirement. But yeah. So before we got on the pod, we were talking about, you know, it's now 2023. It's October. Well, the year is almost over. Craziness. And while COVID is still, you know, ravaging these fucking streets, motherfuckers do not care anymore. So do you really remember what life was like pre-COVID?
Well, I should first say that the way I'm currently living, one would think that I also do not care. I must be honest, man. You know what I mean? I'm on some Burger King shit. I'm having it my way. You know what I'm saying?
Have it your way.
Nah, I ain't
You know
gonna
what I
hold you.
mean?
It is the thing of like my shit is really compartmentalized.
Yeah.
Like I don't know that I'm not saying I don't know. I know that I don't pay attention or am that kind of considerate in every way I should be. If I'm going to clubs, music shows, and all that kind of shit, no mask whatsoever. Just drinking, breathing, like breathing in faces on a daily basis. But let me get on this L. If I get on public transit, I'm throwing a mask on real fast.
Bro, that's a damn good point, and I won't front either. The last time I was on a plane, I wore a fucking mask, and then I took that bitch off as soon as I got off. So you're right. Certain things I'm still doing, man, just because motherfuckers was passing flus and stuff around even before COVID on planes. So I feel that. As annoying as it is to be uncomfortable on a plane and then have a fucking mask adding another layer of discomfort is annoying, man. But that is something that I am currently still doing. So good
That's
point.
real. And the thing about it is the mask I have is probably the only one that I don't find uncomfortable. I hate the like surgical motherfucker, not surgical, but the main hospital ones. That's just like that piece of little aluminum foil paper going across your face. I hate that motherfucker. That is extremely uncomfortable. But this little like black cloth one I got, it just sits on top of my nose. I get to breathe freely. It ain't like suffocating.
Oh, word.
On some sneaky shit. And so yeah. So what do you really remember about those times? Do you think anything is that different now that we're in a pretty much a post-pandemic era? Like to think that we lived through a legitimate pandemic where was saying we looked this up almost to October 4th, I believe was the last report. Almost 7 million people died in that 2.5, 3 year time span. And over 771 million cases diagnosed.
Yeah. I mean,
so just under 20%. Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say, if I could think of, as you said, like life before COVID, I mean, I think like you guys were saying, I think we're basically back to like, what we consider normal, but like for me, like, and I know I'm not really answering answering the question, but I guess for me is sometimes like it's interesting where like you'll go into like a grocery store or a convenience store and you'll see like the little circle things on the ground from like the social distance.
Social distancing.
And for me, it's like, I don't know, like I think I keep seeing like these artifacts, I guess you could call them that, of of the pandemic, and it's just like an instant like reminder of how like crazy that like the times were and how like we were kind of unsure, at least initially, because we were like, okay, there's a pandemic, but how serious is it? Are they overblowing it? Are they not? Like what? Like because really at the start of it, nobody knew anything. I don't care who you are, like you didn't know. So like we were, and you would, go to the store, you'll see people, you still see people doing this, but you'll see people with latex gloves on and face masks.
Goggles.
Yeah. It's like, man, it was just a wild time to be alive. Like I actually have a sign from the beach from Lake Michigan and Miller or whatever. Like they had these signs from like the city of Gary put these signs up basically saying to practice social whatever. So I actually took one out the ground and just took it home. Like this is gonna be, like in 50 years, this is gonna be cool. Like it just will be. So I don't know. Like I said, I know they didn't answer the question of like, can I think of it life before COVID? Because I feel like, because you kind of said this before we started recording, like we're basically back to like how life was. But like you guys said though, you like, you're wearing a mask in public transport, you know, uh, which honestly, other countries kind of do that anyway, like the mask thing. Like, I mean, basically Asian countries.
Yeah, a lot of Asian countries, yeah.
It's sometimes, and I've actually looked this up, like it's even before COVID and all that. It's like, it's for various reasons. Sometimes it's for like just don't want to get sick, don't want to get anyone else sick.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's pollution. Sometimes it's even a fashion statement. So it just depends on the person, I guess.
Right.
Because like I remember when I was over there in what was that? 2017 to 2019, that
Okay.
span of time. I would see masks all the time, and it was just like, I guess you never thought anything of it. It's like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
it's an Asian thing. But then when I came over here, in basically within a year, yeah, within a year, the pandemic kicked off, and then suddenly I see these masks again, but for not quite the same effect, I guess.
Mhm.
And then people started calling them COVID masks. Like, for example, people will call like an N95 mask, like the same mask that painters have been using for 70 years. Like people will call that a COVID mask. Like, no, it's just a dust mask. But so you could say that's how society has changed, just the way people will classify something that's already existed.
Mm.
And
True.
it's been renamed the COVID mask when, like I said, people have been wearing that in like industrial, industries for decades. Um,
It's funny though, is doesn't that kind of always happen where if something, as soon as something is popularized for maybe an ulterior use or a different kind of use rather, um, it just loses the entire like previous identification or associations it had. Like,
Mm-hmm.
when's the last time you heard any dark pop not referred to as a Coke?
oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
especially in the South.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, regardless of whether or not they got Pepsi, they're like, if we got light pop, it's Sprite. It may be Sierra Mist, but we got Sprite.
Yeah. Or
No, that's
what's
true.
the new one they got now? Starry, I think I've
Star,
seen
which is just Squirt.
commercials. Yeah.
What? I never heard of that. Damn.
Yeah,
I'm out of the
Squirt did a
loop.
rebrand, so they call themselves Starry
Ah,
now.
I didn't know
okay.
that. I mean,
It's
Squirt is a terrible name for a
It
beverage
is.
company.
It was delicious, but
It's just saying it sounds weird to me.
I've always thought it was a generic brand. It's funny to see a generic
it's not.
brand put that much money into fucking rebranding. I thought
nah,
they were rebranding on a different brand.
nah, man.
Damn,
Shit.
I didn't even realize that, honestly. I thought it was just a new
Well,
company. Okay.
I could have been making that up. So I could be making that. I'm sure I am, but
They went through a whole rebrand, and that's how I learned something about myself. Well, my childhood led to my adulthood, and I was like, Squirt is delicious. But so they were like Starry now.
damn.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure you to the beverage Squirt.
His conscience is asking him, yes. Speaking of nostalgia, is now the perfect time to say pause?
I'd say beverage first. But no, because like honestly, like although it sounds weird, I always liked like the can and like the logo. It always always was cool to me. But I do like the starry like logo and whatever. I know no one cares about that, but it's a cool logo though. I like it.
No, I still do that, and I feel like a lot of people do that. That's why a lot of different brands will have such cool logos or such cool art on their cans and bottles because they know that's going to entice somebody to at least be more interested. Give that shit a second chance, a second look for sure. It's huge, man.
Yeah.
But I need to be in the loop again more about sodas and shit, man.
I mean, I don't drink any of it. I just happen to. It's useless knowledge I have.
It's in the ether. Let's see, man. I feel like Lysol made more money in the last 3 years than they ever did in the whole fucking lifetime of the company. I tell you that shit.
Yeah.
Those motherfuckers are good, and their children's are good now. Because everywhere you go, you see some form of Lysol, whether it's a wipe, hand sanitizer or something.
Right.
That definitely changed, man.
Oh, absolutely.
Toilet tissue
everywhere.
Toilet tissue had a big job.
So not gonna forgive the world how they acted toilet tissue. That was uncalled for.
Truly, bro. Truly. True.
I was stealing the stuff from work because I couldn't find it.
Hey, you know what's funny? I used to do that shit anyway, bro. I was still like, if I was running low, so I had no hesitation to stealing shit from work. It was only about how I would get away with it. You know what I mean? I never second guessed it. If I needed to steal that shit, I'm taking it, bro.
But I need to like paint the picture though. It wasn't like the regular, whatever 6-inch diameter rolls. It was the commercial bathroom, big,
Oh,
that
yeah,
you motherfucker look like the first tire.
Yeah,
for real, dog.
Yeah, but hey,
I'm gonna need some lime to block for me when I get out there.
I mean, you with them kind of industrial motherfuckers, you need that because that shit is half ply.
It is,
so.
Yeah.
Bro. You're so. Why do all right, let's talk about it. If there was, I would give up something else. I would give up a different perk at my job if they would focus more on putting more time and energy and love into getting the proper, the proper fucking ply on the toilet paper. Why do so many companies skimp on the fucking toilet paper? They do a fucking whole renovation of the building, and the toilet paper is still the shit we had in elementary school. Come on, man.
Cost efficiency.
Come on, man.
They don't care.
What the fuck would you give up? Like, what would you give up for good toilet paper? What other perk?
Well, I wouldn't give up anything because I don't use it.
Yeah. I wouldn't say my company has done a bang up job of getting rid of stuff. So I think they could do it. The least they could do is better the toilet tissue. However, I'll give them a pass because they don't actually own the building, so it wouldn't really be up to them anyway. But still, no, we used to have like the craziest like snack area break room that I've ever seen in a work environment. Like everything. I mean, like, not everything, but like if you wanted cookies, chips, candy, oatmeal, fruit.
You said candy, and I thought you said handy, and I was going to go,
no.
That's a hell of a snack room.
The Montel Jordan Fridays be getting crazy.
Yeah.
Getting handy, son. They're getting crazy now.
And then they had, they would have like Ice Mountain, which is actually my favorite bottled water company. And now we got this Kirkland stuff. Like, what is Kirkland?
I will say, Kirkland sucks compared to Ice Mountain. Ice Mountain is also not a great water.
I love Ice Mountain. I love it.
But what are we really getting when it comes to water bottles, though? Like, I fuck with Ice Mountain too. I feel like
I'll drink Ice Mountain,
but I'm trying to figure out.
Someone buys Dasani, it's fuck all of y'all.
Oh no, I agree. We're not doing Dasani.
Wait, no, we're not doing Dasani, dog. No, Josh, take that back, dog. We recorded.
No, that's what I'm saying. I said the instant they buy Dasani, it's fuck everybody.
Yeah,
I feel that. But I wonder, what is our go-tos? What's your go-to? Like, if you had a gas station or something, you had to buy some water. If you had to buy a water bottle from somewhere.
I'm not saying Ice Mountain is the best. It's the best that I'll pay for.
That's real. Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. Because I'm still like, I'm willing to pay the Smart Water or Fiji water price.
Smart water.
If I'm stopping at a gas station, you know what I mean?
Smart. I say fuck Smart Water too, because they just as acidic as fucking Dasani. They just taste better.
But
I will
balance, man.
Huh?
I thought they're one of the ones that's all about the pH balance.
Nah, Smart Water is
pH.
Smart Water is dumb. Like they don't give a fuck. That's why they now make a Smart Water that is pH balanced, because they knew the original one didn't, and they got outed by a bunch of people doing alkaline tests.
That's why I mentioned that, because that's the one I get. That's why I mentioned the pH. Okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense now.
The black label one is the one that I think the blue one is the one that's like regular. The black label one is the one that's like alkaline. What is it? If I'm at a gas station, I'll probably just get if I'm broke, I'm going Ice Mountain. I'm gonna get that big ass jug and call it a day.
Yeah.
But if I know, I want to at least believe that I'm doing a little better, then most likely they're going to have whatever, Essentia or Fiji or something like that. They're going to have a 2 for $5 situation. Evian is a decent one.
Yeah. I forgot about that one. Damn.
Yeah,
Yo,
I guess, yeah.
Are we still getting the herbal tonics? Whenever I do see it, I'm getting
be
it
really
every other
tempted.
time when I do. I still do, dog. If I see it, like every other time, I'm getting it.
Like, and like
Just for nostalgia.
I'll have to be like really, really like, you know what, this is the time. Only just because they don't even kind of hide that high fructose in it.
Not at all.
And now when I drink it, it tastes thick. Just
No,
because
you're
like
right.
that syrup is
bro, it coats your fucking teeth. It coats your whole fucking mouth for 8 hours. You know what I mean? It should, it's like you can prescribe that shit on the bottle. Like, we'll coat your mouth for the next 8 hours.
Because I'm like, yo,
do
people
not
should
drink
drink
more
this
than
before
2
they
in
get
24 hours. Yeah.
They should drink this before they get on hot ones, because I'm like, yo, like you can't taste any. Can you just feel your mouth anymore with this film that is on there now?
I know, John. And for those who don't know what we're talking about, it is an Arizona tea company. In Arizona, it's a part of the Arizona tea company or tea brand.
Yeah,
it's
herbal
tonic. Yeah, gold can. And also, I suppose most importantly, the unofficial sponsor of the damn skate crew. You know what I mean? We're all in retirement. We're all in retirement, but that's okay, man.
You know,
in our heyday, we was killing it. You know what I mean?
Man, we used to drink that stuff. Like, for me, like, I remember in high school, senior year, man, it's so bad. But I used to buy a bag of Chester's hot fries and a can of that every morning. No, well, that's not true. That's not true. A lot of mornings, and I would eat and drink that in Mr. Reed's class, first period, for breakfast, like it was
breakfast of champions right there.
Yo, you know what's even worse, bro?
Yeah.
Is that we would go out and skate all summer in these hot ass days and use that as a form of actual hydration. And wondering why the fuck we was feeling lethargic as fuck trying to kickflip after that. Oh, man.
I mean, I wouldn't know better. Like, hey, we go to the gas station, what you want? Yo, let me get 2 fast breaks. Let me get 2 candy bars and a chocolate milk. And let's go do something athletic.
Oh, I love it. Honestly, bro, I love it. I love this discussion. I love talking about how the crazy shit we did. Because even like, think about, I don't know if we touched on this before. We probably have, but just the food we ate in the 90s and shit. And no one was like, you know, and then the health craze came and a lot of motherfuckers acting like they didn't eat, you know, they weren't packing 3 Snicker bars for their kids' lunch. You know what I mean? In the 90s, like, come on, man. I feel like there was a point where the health craze or like hit. And then a lot of motherfuckers who was eating terrible just became judgmental. Like, they just forgot all about their terrible habits, man.
You talking about the shit? You talking about us in high school? Because I feel like that didn't hit until we were adults.
Yeah. No, I mean like in the 90s.
That might be in your household, my guy.
Yeah, I'm thinking of my aunt. I feel like I remember. It wasn't. I'm saying like growing up in the 90s, we were still eating shit, but like I just remember her having a consciousness of like having awareness about like, all right, at some point we're gonna start having this version of this meal instead of that. Now it was always like a topic. It just wasn't happening because she knew we were fucking Chris and I, like the kids was fighting that shit as hard as we could. Like, I'm throwing a tantrum right here and right now. If you try to put that shit in that fucking buggy, put it in. Try, you know what I mean?
I gotta tell you, man,
frosted flakes. Pass over the frosted flakes again.
I don't know if that was my experience, just because it was real. You gonna eat what the fuck I give you, not like you got really a choice if we're doing it because of this or this is gonna be a healthier. Nah, them motherfuckers are like, we having pork today.
Well, don't get me wrong. I wasn't saying like we had money like that. We was
no, I ain't saying like that.
Having a wealth of options.
That conversation wasn't happening in the in the few households that I was being raised between.
Okay, I'm like, she was very much like, even if we gotta cook it and you know in a cheaper way, at least we're gonna have this better option. We're gonna have this better option from whatever it previously was. But we fought. I mean, dude, I remember like liking my routines as a particular routine as a kid. Because kids are fucking, especially me. I was ADHD, bouncing off the fucking walls all the time. But a particular routine that I loved coming back from, was this kindergarten, I think? Because we used to, going to Nobel, I could walk home. And specifically on like half days.
Mm-hmm.
I think at the time it was like Fridays were half days. I would walk home and expect a motherfucking tapioca pudding to be waiting for me.
What are you, 90?
No, what? No, the fucking the Jello brands, bro. The trash shit.
Oh, you're talking about, okay, let's still
tapioca. Dog. And and Darkwing Duck better be coming on at the same motherfucking time. Like I expect that shit. I'm gonna eat my tapioca pudding out in the balcony and kick my fucking feet up as a kindergartner. Because life was good. God damn it. Some things you just didn't need to change, man.
Tapioca's still wild to me. Like I get like Jello pudding, but like tapioca specifically is a little
amazing. It's amazing, dog. Yeah.
I also just never really been a fan. Because even like today with like the craze around boba and all of that kind of stuff, I go, nah, I'm all right.
I love that stuff.
It's
You said you love boba?
How about the tea, right?
Yeah.
Why don't they have bigger straws? Make the fucking straws bigger. They should never get stuck in the straw, man.
Like the straws are big for the tapioca balls. Yeah.
They make the tapioca smaller because it still gets stuck in the straw sometimes. This is such a crazy inconvenience when we have great minds on the planet. You know what I mean? I just feel like
I hear you.
Been figured out.
I think you may, need to do what occasionally you gotta tell someone providing a service, suck harder.
Fair enough.
What is it? Trying to think. Pre-COVID, what's something I like miss or is back or isn't back? Oh no, I feel like, you know what I miss? I miss the prices. Inflation is a bitch now that things are back.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's true.
Now, granted, like some things are relatively like they were, or maybe I just don't fully remember. I know I ain't never paid $6 for a carton of eggs, and that shit is fucking killing me now.
Yeah, eggs are more expensive. Yeah, I've noticed a lot of changes, like even in beer, even like I'm not saying like that we would like buy Blue Moon often, but like the times that we did buy it, I do know it wasn't $18 for a 12-pack. So
That's crazy.
I haven't gotten it ever since. So now I get this stuff.
Oh, dog! Don't hurt my heart.
What's that?
Tecate.
Tecate.
Don't hurt my heart. He done brought the fucking. My homies be drinking Tecate here. I'm like, man, if you don't turn that shit around, I don't want the light to catch the fucking label. All right.
You don't like Tecate?
I like this stuff.
Well, I'm only saying it because I tease my friend just to give him a hard time, but like I'm a huge Blue Moon fan. So it's just funny that he brought up like the two things.
I'm not gonna get it. No, I can't do 18 for 12-pack. That's too much. But that's that statement.
I probably, you know what? That's something that I should focus on more, man. Because when I have the money, I get the thing and don't, because I know I have the money to get it. So I'm not thinking too much. I'm not focused enough, honestly, on the price in that regard. I just throw it in the bag.
For me, I guess you could say I'm like that with something. Like if it's a necessity, then sure. If I gotta get it, I gotta get it. But that's not a beer that I got often anyway. Honestly, it's not my favorite beer. So, and then for the price to go up that much, I'm like, I can just because my favorite beer they don't even sell it in the state of Illinois. I got to go to Indiana to get it.
I'm curious, what is it, Doc? I'm just curious.
Yingling, where they only sell it on the East Coast, even though Illinois is pretty east. Yeah, they have a weird distribution thing going on where they only provide it on the East Coast. Although I could get it when I was in Korea, but
I thought I've had it in the South. I wonder if it's the Southeast is a part of it.
Because back when I lived in Florida, I could get it too, but obviously Florida's relatively east.
But, that's true.
Yeah, I guess I don't know where the line stops, but I know it stops at the Indiana border though. But I don't know how far south it goes. Yeah,
you bring up a good point, bro. I wonder if, well, like the inflation probably caused people to stop focus more or be more aware of what they actually need.
yeah,
You know,
I can
that's for
imagine.
sure. Like, and well, I guess just backing up a little bit.
Back it up.
I don't because you made me think of it, and I was like, I actually, part of the reason why I don't focus on the price as much is because I don't get beer that often. So when I do, I'm like, I'm gonna get some shit that I like, you know?
Yeah, that's fair.
But it's definitely not a necessity, that's for sure.
I think I've always been that way though. If I'm gonna, unless I know I got money to explore and try some shit that I ain't had before, I'm getting the shit I like because I'm spending money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and beer is tricky like that because we were talking about labels earlier and like the packaging. Mm-hmm. Like there's times when in my mind I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try something different today. And I look at all the cans and all the different designs, like these look cool. And I remember once when I was in Florida, of all places, we bought this, it was like a grapefruit beer. I'm like, should be interesting. Even though I don't even love grapefruit like that, I still figure like, well, it's a beer. That's not, they'll do something. Like,
right.
It was disgusting. It literally tastes like vomit. But the can was cool though, so that's why I bought it because the can design. But
I do like that. I used to do like that with whiskeys.
Oh yeah.
Is I'll check that like the percentage of like for the alcohol, and then little things like is it how was it aged, like in what rather, is it a single batch, is it mass produced, is it a new thing I ain't heard of, is it a particular kind of, like I hate Jameson but I like the stout Jameson.
Okay.
Yo, everybody who fucks with whiskey, I feel like is an old soul. Like if reincarnation is real, y'all motherfuckers grew up in the wild, wild west in the previous life. Because I can't fuck with the whiskeys, man. I was banging that song literally like a week ago.
What's that Cisco run?
Going straight to the wild, west, going.
Oh my god! Hey, have movies changed since the pandemic? Definitely.
In some way, they have. Yeah. The attendance in them.
Movies.
I mean, it was already going down, but I can't imagine that did any favors for it.
I feel like it's. I don't know the numbers, but I feel like production companies, and we're not even gonna like add in the factors of what the strike did to it, and or the current strike is still happening because writer strike is over, but the actors are still on strike. I think production companies are trying to make their movies more of an event now, because going to see a movie or any kind of movie is just not that appealing anymore. So it is kind of that thing of like, for me, I know y'all, especially Adam, would always talk about like you just enjoy going to the movies.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Me personally, I will go to the movies if it's something worth seeing in that way.
Yeah. We're like that more now with inflation and all that stuff. But yeah, like for example, like there's a movie coming out that we're probably gonna see. It's that new.
I know what it is. I know what you're gonna say. Can I guess?
Sure.
The new Scorsese joint.
Yep. Until the thing is though, when I saw the length of it, like this man is
3.5 hours.
Yeah, like dude, like I love a long movie. Now don't get me wrong. If it's a 2.5 hour movie, I'm like, cool, I got my money's worth. But 3.5 is like, man, I know I'm gonna have to use the bathroom because my bladder sucks. So I'm like,
and you also need to consume something during 3.5 hour movies, man.
Yeah,
like damn.
True. Yeah, well, it's called Killers of the Flower Moon. Yeah, I guess it's based on like a true story. Where it's like they were trying to dig for oil somewhere out. I think it was Oklahoma, and they ended up massacring some native folks. And I
Mm.
guess it just kind of tells that story. I never heard of it. So, and I know going to the movies isn't the best way to consume history, but um, but I do like the filmmaker and the actors involved. So we'll see.
Yeah, when I see that combo, I'm going to the movies to see it.
When I see
I'm going.
Leo, I go.
Yo, absolutely, son.
Just looking at this cast list is fucking crazy.
Yeah,
It's expensive. Also,
yeah.
the cast list sounds very expensive.
Yep.
But you don't know how much Scorsese got left, so I'm sure everybody in their mom was like, "Hey, let's get in what we can. Don't even matter if the movie's good. I need the Scorsese credit."
That's what Jonah Hill did. Like he took the minimum, I guess, the Hollywood minimum to be in what movie was that? Well, that wasn't Martin Scorsese, was it?
Which one? Wolf of Wall? No.
Wolf of Wall Street. Was that Martin?
Yeah, that's Scorsese. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so he took the Hollywood. I guess there's like a minimum because there's unions and stuff out there. So like whatever the minimum is, he's like, I'll take it. I just want to be in the movie. And he did a great job too.
So, yeah, for real, yo.
Yeah,
quality. I mean,
Wolf of Wall Street was good.
At this point, Scorsese just has that. He's like a legend, so he's expected to have quality actors in there. You know, you got to be a certain tier.
Yeah,
but and I would argue. I mean, who knows if that's how Scorsese feels? Because my big thing when you get to that kind of echelon and that particular branch of the field, I don't necessarily know what's the thing of you always need the top tier actors, but they're going to come to be with you because you're held on this pedestal.
That's very true.
Because if he made a film that had all no names on it, or just people who haven't gotten to that level of acclaim yet, it'll still be a high success because he made it.
Yeah,
I guess you know what? That's true. I guess I'm just thinking. I'm thinking for him, and I'm thinking how I think he would think when like going out. Like I prefer to have, like if I can have the pick of the litter, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, I mean I think that's one way to look at it. I maybe it's just because not to make it about me, but the way I always look at creating work, I go, do I want the names that have talent, or do I want the talent that I know will bring my vision to the apex of what I am looking for?
Yeah, that's a very good question.
Those aren't mutually exclusive.
Nope.
But I feel like he keeps working with the Leos of the world and the Robert Downey De Niro's
because of course I'm sure there's good relationship and those are brilliant actors and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm not saying it's that.
And that's kind of I agree with you though. I don't mean to sound like I'm limiting it like in regards to possibility of like bringing that story to life.
Yeah.
In the way that the director actually wants, because I feel like Quentin Tarantino was similar, where he'll be like, he's legendary, but also he cares more about the person being able to bring to like, he wants to be able to trust you with his character to like, give you some guidance and then take that shit where it needs to go. So that doesn't necessarily guarantee that it's going to be the top most famous actor at the time.
Yeah.
But like, I think him and Scorsese, what I'm trying to say is are looking for substance, they just so happen to be getting, in my opinion, the people who are often in their movies provide that substance and that have that range, I guess.
Yeah. Like for me, like, I can kind of speak on that a little bit. Just get back when I was doing my like portrait photography stuff. Like what I kind of noticed and learned and kind of developed into for me, like I would sometimes like I would work with the same person like 3 or 4 times just because I know that person can do what I'm trying to do. And it's like I don't want to, look for somebody and then they're not even, they don't pull off what I'm trying to do. So I think that's part of it too, where it's like I know this person can do this because I've worked with them before. So that it might just like Quentin Tarantino, like we already know, this guy works with the same people, over and over again.
Most of it is right.
And it's like I think part of it is because like, look, I know what this dude's capable of. There's no, he knows how I am. Like there's no.
We already know how to be in process together.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can completely get that. I can completely get that because that new talent may be really great, but if y'all don't have any previous work relationship, you don't necessarily know how they need to be in process, how to get them to where you want them to be, what they need for themselves in order to feel vulnerable and trusting and all of those things that are required to act in a certain at that tier.
Yeah.
I don't
you're
think
right,
just a
bro.
Scorsese tier, but just like on
on just a
a
creative
high level.
Yeah, because acting, I'm not an actor or anything, but it appears to be a very emotional art form. So I feel like you got to be able to really connect with your talent, if you're the director. So it's like, if I already got this 20-year long, 30-year long relationship, I don't need to hire nobody else. Like we're good. Yeah.
Yeah, dog. Trust on both ends is like, you ain't got that. I feel like as an actor, it's
Yeah.
And that's any of them. I would argue that's every art form. If you are in the directorial position and then the performer, if it's separated in that way. If I'm a composer and I give my song to a band, I'm going to trust that the band is going to be able to play it in a way that's still what I wrote and moving, if I want it to be. As a choreographer, I want my steps and I want the narrative. I want your staging, where you are, like how you feel about the person next to you. I want all those things intact. I want to be able to trust you that when I hand you the metaphor I use constantly, analogy I use constantly these days is going, I'm handing you a coloring book. And so if I hand you the coloring book, I'm telling you, you can color the picture however you want to. But what you can't do is if I give you the picture of the butterfly and you're like, oh, but I wanted a unicorn, bitch, that's not what I gave you. I need you to, you color that butterfly as beautifully as you want to within the lines.
I would say yes, stay in the lines. Yeah.
And we can make a collaborative relationship inside of bringing this mutual vision together. But if you're like, but I really just, how about I color that butterfly, but I draw a unicorn outside of it and make the butterfly a tattoo? Like, no, that's not what the fuck we're doing here. Yeah. So
Facts, bro.
It has to be that kind of symbiotic, collaborative relationship between those two people when you're bringing a vision to life.
Agree, bro. Oh, go ahead, Adam. Sorry.
No, I was going to ask Josh a question, like as far as you being one that I'm gonna say designs.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, so you as the designer, and you're giving it to the kind of like the builders, kind of like the Have you ever? And I'm sure you have, but I just want to ask a question.
Sure.
Have you ever worked with somebody where it's like they just did everything right, and you're like, dang, this dude is just, or gal is just killing it, like
gal,
like it's. I'm asking because and it's a good feeling when you're like you're just on the same wavelength with this person. It's like, dang, everything they do is like, yeah, that's exactly what I would want you to do. Like, but yeah,
I put it like this. At least in my field, I don't think that there is. Let's put it like this: there are wrong answers, there are right answers, and then there's artistic choices. And so wrong answers is you ain't do my step and you ain't do my step. Right answers is I gave you a step, you did what I asked. And then there's artistic choices to say you did what I asked and you continue to help it grow without altering it in a way or choosing to do something different because you like that better or what have you. And so it's a thing of like, I'm kind of the start of the message. It's not a game of telephone. It's a what's a better way to put it? Like it's a this is a bad analogy. It's like it's like going from king to Obama.
Okay.
both of them were working in a political way. Both of them were trying to move people in a sense. They didn't do it the same way. Obama is a continuation of the work that King did.
Okay.
With the exception of, you know, King was allegedly nonviolent and Obama killed a lot of motherfuckers.
I'm not gonna lie to you. At first, I thought you were referring to like the roles of king and president, like monarchy, democracy. I was like, okay, I can see that. And then you're like, oh, you mean Dr. King?
I mean, Dr. King. Martin Luther. Junior. So I mean, in that sense of like it's not a game of telephone, because the person receiving the message is doing their best to make sure that it's being continued. The conveyance is continuing to be coherent and a part of the original message, as opposed to that game of telephone thing where that last person to get the message is very far from that first person.
Yeah.
And so a thing I pride myself on, and I would hope that all people pride themselves on when you're in this particular industry. Oh, my camera keeps falling back. Is like if I learn a piece, or if a piece gets made on me, right? So I'm the dancer. There's a choreographer in front of the room. He designs this dance on me and several other dancers. My job is to make sure that I'm doing what they're asking to the best of my ability, as well as adding my own voice into it. And then when I matriculate to a point where I have to pass this information along, I'm teaching the original thing, not the way I made it.
Yeah. Yep. That makes sense.
And always keeping that original vision in mind. Yeah.
Because you make sure the original vision is what was prioritized. And that way, when that person does it, now they get to add their voice, and they're not adding their voice on top of mine, which is further away from what the original thing was.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I bet you it's difficult too.
It is if your process doesn't enforce that kind of accountability and integrity.
That's why everybody involved should, and probably does, but should definitely be in communication. Maybe not at all times, but in some form of communication. You know what I mean? Just to keep that alive.
Well, I don't know how we got from COVID to here, but always great talking to y'all. We're going to cut it off there. Any final thoughts before we sign out?
Man, just be ready for the next pandemic. I feel like we can always have. So, unfortunately,
I really hope it's not in our lifetime. That would be dumb.
Well, honestly, we're probably going to have one in our lifetime. I don't think it's going to be a global, like kind of, you know how like Zika virus was, and
like an epidemic, not a pandemic.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, that's likely. That was how I was when COVID first like popped off around February. Yeah. I was like, man, this shit gonna blow over. It's not even really probably gonna reach us. And then like a week or two later, it was like world shut down. And I was like, whoa, I was wrong. I was very wrong.
Yeah.
Hey, if we have another one of these motherfuckers, I'm going back to the trash eating. I'm going back to herbal tonics. I'm like, fuck it, man. You know what I mean? I'm high, like, yo, to bring it full circle. Like Burger King. Yes. I like Burger King. I'm gonna have it my way. God damn it.
A slow head now.
And that's my final words.
Word. Well, y'all know how to hit us up. InforMILLy Honest Podcast at gmail.com. InforMILLy Honest on everything except Twitter. That's InforMILLy_HP. One day, when I'm not dancing as hard, I'm going to get back to making some clips. But until then, please tell your friends, tell your family, and tell that person that you might be fucking right now as you stroke to our voices. Right?
As you stare into to their eyes.
If you getting your cheeks bit in to honor, we hope that, you know, as you climax, that you go, this is a good podcast. We should listen to this more often. Every connection that you make, every companion that you have, and every person that you choose to copulate with, we hope that we encourage, empower, and implore you to be forthright, be vulnerable, and please do your giggity goddamn best to keep it honest, y'all. Peace.
Peace out.
Peace, world. Thanks for listening.
Four brothers from the Miller neighborhood of Gary, Indiana. Four brothers from the Miller neighborhood of Gary, Indiana.